Today we are doing lesson 7.4, points and lines all around. Is everybody on the page with the map of Staten Island, New York on it?
Yep.
Okay, it says here's a map of a neighborhood in Staten Island, New York. On the map, find and label the following items. 4 line segments of different lengths. So I want you to choose one of your highlighters that you are going to use. Let me see, I want to see if I can use a highlighter instead. To identify 4 line segments that are different sizes. So remember, a line segment has a starting point and an ending point, okay? So you do not have to do the exact same ones that I do, but you can if you want. So I'm going to start with this long line segment right here. Can you see that? This right here. So that's a long line segment. And then I'm going to do a little short line segment right there.
Are we supposed to be highlighting?
Yes, you're going to highlight 4 line segments. And you're going, I don't care what color you use, but you need to do all your line segments the same color. So right now you're going to, I'll stick with the same color until I tell you to get a new color. So there's 2 line segments. Here's another line segment. And then here is another line segment. So now I have 4 different line segments that are different lengths. Okay, so make sure you've got 4 of them. And then we're going to go to the next thing.
Do they all have to be different lengths?
They need to all be the same color. If you're following
Different
directions. What?
Different lengths.
Yes, that's what it says. 4 line segments of different lengths. Okay. The next one, and I did that one blue. Okay, so I'm going to highlight that blue. Then 3 pairs of parallel lines. So I'm going to do that one yellow. So pick up a different color, and we have to do parallel. Parallel means that they will never cross. They're side by side. So they can be vertical, they can be horizontal, or they can be diagonal. Either way, but they can never cross. So I see right here and right here, those 2 are parallel lines.
Pink or yellow?
I'm going to make my highlighter thinner.
Wait, pink or yellow?
Yellow is what I'm using. So this line and this line. Okay. Those are parallel. If I go over here, these are also parallel. So this one and this one appear to be parallel. And then for my last pair of parallel sides, I'm going to do Cleveland Street, because we know that roads are definitely parallel, right?
Right.
Because you don't want to cross or have roads that suddenly get narrower and narrower if you're trying to drive on. Okay, so there is my 3 pair of parallel lines that I did in yellow. Okay, and then it says I'm going to switch to pink this time and do 2 pairs of lines that are not parallel. So these would be intersecting lines. So here's one pair right here. These 2 lines intersect. And then another pair of intersecting lines would be these 2 right here. This corner. Okay, so for that one I did heat, 2 pairs of lines that are not parallel. Okay, so does that make sense how you can use a map to find parallel
Understandable.
line segments and intersecting lines? Okay, now close up your highlighters and we're going to go to the next page. And in the words whale and joy, which letter has no parallel segments? So I'm going to pull sticks for this one and have you tell me which of these lines, Audrey, will you go push that door closed for me, the girls' bathroom door? I'm going to have you tell me which letter you see that has no parallel lines. So no lines that are like this, no lines that are like this. I'm going to pull sticks. Okay, so, Athena, give me one of the letters that has no parallel line segments.
L.
L, that is correct. L does not have any parallel line segments. So I'm going to write that on A. I'm going to write an L. It has 2 line segments, but they are intersecting. They cross. Okay? Another letter that has no parallel segments, Autry. A does not have any parallel line segments. It has 2 that connect here and then 1 that connects in the middle, but nothing that is parallel. Okay, so there are some more letters that do not have parallel line segments. Avis, give me another example.
O.
O does not have any parallel lines. It doesn't even have any lines. Evan, give me another one.
J.
J does not have any parallel line segments. And there is one more letter that does not have any parallel line segments. Brooklyn,
K.
from up here.
Y.
That's correct. Y does not have any parallel line segments.
I also see W. It doesn't have any parallel.
It absolutely does.
Really?
We will talk about it in a minute. Please raise your hand if you have something to say. Okay, now I want you, Haziel, to tell me what letter has exactly 1 pair of parallel lines. H, that is correct. H is has only 1 pair, this one and this one, right?
Bush.
Okay. All right, now we're gonna go on to more than 1 pair of parallel segments. Harbor. I couldn't hear you.
E.
Yes, E has more than 1 pair of parallel line segments because on E you can have the top and bottom, you could have the top and the middle, or the middle and the bottom, right? Okay, so what is another letter that has more than 1 pair of parallel sides? Owen.
Y.
No, no. Y is up there as not having any parallel line segments. Cameron?
W.
W. Let me show you why W. W, for the first time that I taught this, I could not see it. But then I realized, and let me show you why. W has more than one. Okay, so this line segment right here is parallel to this line segment right there.
Oh.
And then it has two because this line segment right here is parallel to this line segment right there. Does that make sense?
But
No, they are parallel.
it crosses on the pink and the blue though.
No.
The last three doesn't matter.
That's just how I was scribbling on
The
it.
last three has hay, and the top one has joy.
Yep. So Zerelda, if I kept the way parallel works is if I kept going on forever and ever with these two lines, they would never cross. That means they're parallel. And if I kept going on forever and ever with this line and this line, they would never cross. But they do intersect. They do cross with other lines, but there's two pairs of parallel lines on W. Okay. So now on this one, I don't really like this question. It says which letter is made from only one segment, and can you guess which one they think it is? They say it is. Fisher? Nope. Mary? Nope. Jackson?
O.
Nope. Devin? Which one? Just one segment.
L.
Macy? It's J.
I was going. Me too.
Too many people did not. Okay. And that's why I don't like it, because I don't really think when I make a J, I just do that. I don't make a line segment and then attach the curve.
That's how I make.
So, I mean, they say that J has only one segment, but I can't really see that. Okay. Now what we're going to do is I am going to write the alphabet in capital letters up here, and we're going to continue going around the room to give you a chance to tell me how many or whether the letter has parallel line segments, intersecting line segments, both, or neither. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Barely. Okay. So, I'm gonna use one of my old markers for this. Okay. Tell me whether A has parallel, intersecting, both, or neither. Ari. Intersecting, that is correct. Intersecting, because they intersect right here, don't they? And right here. So intersecting means they cross. Okay. Todd. We're not going to do B or C or D because all of those have what kind of lines? Curved. And so we're going to skip those. So Todd, tell me about E. Does it have parallel, intersecting, or both? It has both, because the top of the E, we talked about E in a second ago, and the bottom are parallel, and that middle is also parallel, but they also intersect here, don't they? So this would be intersecting and parallel. Okay. What about F, Colton? Both. Yep. So this and this are parallel, and here they intersect. So intersecting and parallel. Okay, G we're gonna skip because it's got a curve. She's absent. Mary, what about H? Both. Okay, the two sides are parallel, but the middle intersects. So intersecting and parallel. What about I, Fisher?
Intersecting?
It has both because the top and bottom are gonna be parallel, okay?
Skippy.
So if you get it right, you get a point. If you don't, you don't. Okay, so this would be intersecting and parallel. Okay, J we're gonna skip. Okay, what about K? Olivia. So it doesn't have any parallel lines. So there's no lines that are like the H that would run side by side forever. But so this line segment and this one intersect and this one intersect. So this one's just gonna be intersecting. Does that make sense? Okay. What about L, Macy? No, they cross right there. They meet right there. You see what I'm saying? So this line intersects with this line. So they would be intersecting. Okay? N. What about M? Both. Okay, so the outsides are parallel and they cross, making them also intersecting. Okay? Devin, what about N?
It is parallel.
It does have parallel, but it also has intersecting too, because these two are parallel, but they intersect with this one, right? So it would be both.
Do I still get myself a point?
Not for that one.
Okay.
Zerelda, what about T?
Intersects.
Yep, intersecting.
What?
All right. What about V, Cameron? So the choices are parallel, intersecting, both, or neither. So no, it intersects right here. So this line segment intersects with this line segment. They cross. That's what intersecting means. Okay? And then W. N. Yep. We just talked about that. Does intersecting and parallel. And then X. Devin.
Intersect?
Intersecting? Yep. So this line crosses this line, right? They cross at that point, so they are intersecting. All right, two more letters. Owen. For Y.
Intersecting?
Yep. They intersect right here. So if you can see a point where they cross, they are definitely intersecting. And then Colton, what about Z?
Intersecting and parallel?
And parallel, because the top and bottom are parallel, right? But the middle one is both. So the question is, which does the uppercase alphabet use more? Parallel segments or intersecting? Everybody.
Intersecting.
Okay. So that's what we're gonna write.
What more?
Intersecting. And that is spelled just like this. All right, next page.
Wait.
Draw and design. So I'm getting ready to turn off the video after I give you instructions. So the rest of today's lesson is going to involve drawing. And you're going to draw two things. You're going to draw a sketch of part of our classroom. It doesn't have to be the whole classroom, but just a part of our classroom. Now, you have to make sure that you include at least 3 pairs of parallel line segments, intersecting line segments that make square corners, intersecting line segments that don't make square corners, and I will show you really quick. So parallel lines are going to look like this. If you're having trouble figuring out what they look like, they're going to look like this. Parallel lines, or they can look like this. Intersecting that make square corners are going to look like this, or they're going to look like this, or they're going to look like capital L's. Those are all intersecting lines that make square corners. And then intersecting lines that don't make square corners would be like an X shape, okay? And then we're gonna, on the last page, it says, here are some symbols and logos that you may recognize. All of them have intersecting and parallel line segments. What is this logo, Athena?
The peace sign.
The peace sign. What is this logo? Do you guys recognize it?
Recycle.
Does anybody know what this one is?
It's a car brand.
It's a car brand. I can't think. Maybe Mitsubishi?
Yeah.
And then this one I'm not familiar with.
That's the drive.
Yeah. Okay, so let me tell you very quickly. You guys are going to design your own logo. So it could be for you as a person, like your initials, or when my daughter grows up, she wants to own her own cat cafe. Do you know what a cat cafe is?
Yeah.
They have, it's like a coffee shop that have cats in it.
And you get to pet them and you can
Yes.
give them silk.
Okay, so like
Mio, what if you're allergic to cats?
Don't go there.
then don't go there.
No, go
Okay.
there.
So anyway, she loves cats. She is allergic, but she loves them. So she might, if she wanted to make a C, like with line segments, she could do something like cat cafe, or she could do, that would be Kylie's Cat Cafe, and she could maybe make one of the, make it have
Ears.
like a little tail and like whiskers. Okay, so that might be a logo for her business. So you guys are gonna get to design your own. It says you have to make sure that you have at least 8 parallel segments and 8 intersecting line segments. That sounds like a lot, but watch this. Parallel, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So on the peace sign, there's already 8. And then intersecting, we would have where they cross. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the peace sign, there's 8 of them right there. Okay. So for Kylie's, we could do intersecting would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Parallel could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9. That could be parallel with those other lines. intersecting. Yep. So, that's what you're gonna do. Let me turn this off.